Hey, Shalom, all praises unto Yahweh Shem Shai. Double honor to the apostles of the great millstone. Honest your brothers to be pushing this truth in sincerity for the four corners of the earth. I don't usually do these style of videos, in response to, because usually you got, a multitude of videos get posted up. But because I seen the title of this, I thought it was quite interesting. I thought I'll do one this time. Okay, so effectively, what they're saying here is there's no way we can 100% protect every possible target. In other words, okay, there's an undertone of a question, an undertone of eagerness there. Okay, so what we know from the scriptures is that what you're gonna have is a situation where Esau is gonna allow this turmoil to go out so crazy that he's gonna chip in everybody and watch every possible move that's gonna be made upon the earth. So when this statement is made, it leads to the thinking and the understanding that this what had played out, what's taking place, is nothing but a false flag attack. Okay, so you got this notion of 100% protection. Okay, which we know how this is how the elites work: pressure from above, all right, pressure from below. Okay, the Hegelian dialectic, if I remember it as correctly, working, all right, in a deceitful fashion, because this is why we call him Satan. Okay, this is why we call him Satan. He'll present you with he's got an agenda he wants to fulfill, having everybody chipped, and he allows it to where chaos can come out here, and in having that chaos he can create his order. Okay, and that's why you have the statement order out of chaos. Okay, so it says no way we can 100% protect every possible target. We know the agenda is the mark of the beast, and in turn you're gonna be able to protect 100. You're gonna be able to monitor right down to how many breaths somebody is taking. Okay, with all of the smart integration that they're gonna be putting out with these so-called new smart houses, and how you're gonna interact with the digital world. Well, the chip's gonna serve as a means of interacting with the digital world. But see, the thing is, with all of that smart technology, it's gonna be a means. It's going to be used as a means to control and not to protect you, but rather to control you. So they're allowing it to these attacks and all of that to take place, and they're orchestrating these attacks to take place so that they can have it to where your freedom is completely taken away from you. This is all a game of slavery. Okay, this is all a game of ownership. Okay, this is a game of ownership. This goes all the way back onto the book of Genesis, where it talks about how Jacob was going to obtain the birthright, which was going to mean that he was going to have slaves underneath him, right, subjects underneath him, and how Esau, he was supplanted out of his blessing, and in being supplanted out of his blessing, he was going to have the world. He was going to use his blessing, which was the sword, to try obtain the actual blessing, which is the spiritual, what's the words I'm looking for? The spiritual rulership of this world. Now we know Esau ain't spiritual, so what's he gonna do? He's gonna use his sword to do that. Okay, so in order to get these people underneath his control, he's letting that chaos go through that. So he's saying that Daesh has claimed responsibility, of which Daesh used to call them themselves ISIL, I believe, and then before that it was ISIS, and that spewed out of Afghanistan when they had the I even forget the name of the dudes that were out there within Afghanistan. But if you really understand how them geopolitical situations work, the whole turmoil out there within Afghanistan started as a result of the United States, okay, and NATO going up in there on the premise of weapons of mass destruction. So if you wanted to go on that route, okay, if we're saying that these groups stemmed out of those Arab countries because the United States and NATO invaded those countries, well, guess what? Okay, Esau is still a loss. Okay, but ultimately we know that these groups were actually set up. It goes deeper than that. These groups were actually set up because they said they was going to use the skirmish between Israel and the Arab world, and ultimately the whole Arab world coming up against the so-called world, hence the so-called war on terror. Okay, they was going to use that as the premise of setting up this so-called new world order. Okay, so this is all a whole big hoax in the game, man. Okay. So it says a suicide bombing has occurred in Manchester. We already know that. And so the arena following a concert from the pop star Ariana Grande. We already know all of that. right? And 22 people killed off. Okay, they got the Waco Zappo. Okay, hey, nobody's ever nobody's ever died being innocent. Okay, all right, including children. Nobody's ever died being innocent. Whilst 120 people, 120 other peoples have sustained injuries. Again, nobody's ever died being innocent. So the Most High is executing judgment on that front. And he's using Esau by way of him trying to set up his so-called New World Order, all right, as a means of doing it. Okay, so let's go to the statement of interest here. So it says, if we look at any country in the world right now, there is no terrorism threat. There is where there is a terrorism threat, rather more. There is no way we can make every possible target 100% attack free. And one reason, of course, is that there are so many potential targets, Hunter said. And that's the reason I'm doing this video, because that's the sentiment that's being pushed out there. And you're going to have it to where the people are going to be more and more attracted to the idea of being, of terrorists being watched and being tracked. But in them being tracked, you're going to have to track everybody. See, that's the thing. You're going to have to watch everybody. Okay, you're going to have to track everybody. Okay, so the freedom of everybody is taken away on the premise of what? Of preventing terrorist attacks. But ultimately, the elite banker families are the ones that have orchestrated these terror plots. They're the ones that are benefiting from these terror plots. And how do you know they're the ones benefiting from these terror plots? Look at the statement that's being spread. Okay, there is no way we can 100% protect everybody, but we know that they're bringing out a way to do that, so they're getting the people on side. Okay, so pretty much I hope that was insightful. I'm sure brothers going to do videos on this already, and are going to do videos and have done videos on this already. And with that, I'm going to say, all praise unto Yahweh, Shai, double honor to the apostles of great millstone, and Lord's will, I'll see you on the next one. Shalom.